Hello everyone, it's Amy here, and who else would it be on this channel? It's me, and I just thought I'd make a quick video. I feel like I say that every time. Every time I make a video I say the same thing, but whatever, you gotta start somehow. So, I'm pretty upset about the things going on in politics. Obviously, we all are, the world, politics. I still know how to have a sense of humor and be happy. Like today's the anniversary of the Beatles coming to America. Really would have been yesterday because that'd be a Friday. Today would be interviews and them walking around Central Park and practicing and getting ready for Ed Sullivan tomorrow night. To me, it was almost like Christmas, you know. For a Beatle fan, it's Christmas this weekend. It's such a beautiful, magical time. New York was filled with snow. The music was magical. Everything was just pure magic. And of course, this was after JFK died. So that's like what I'm doing to stay sane. Is thinking about that, and it's a beautiful, happy time for me this right now. But you know, politics is pretty upsetting because just everything in the files. And you know, I wanted to talk about that. Okay, so I'll say the EP files. We're all having to read them, right? We're all having to look through all the evidence because if we don't do it, they're not going to do it. So the victims have been waiting for all of this to come out, and it's still not all out. And they're even already taking files away, which is crazy. It's crazy. The whole thing is just how they're getting by with this. You know, the 45 admin. It's insane, and it's very well, illegal. And I'm sure the victims are really. I mean, they left the victims' information in, which they were strictly not supposed to do. But they took out the perpetrators, the abusers. They took out all the people. They redacted put black bars over the people, the abusers. These were people who hurt children, raped children, unalived children. Just horrible, unimaginable. So we're all reading these files while they're redacting them. And I feel like it is a duty and a civic and a human duty to read through these files and see the evidence, which is horrifying, really horrifying. Because if, like I said, if we don't, they won't. So somebody has to. But it's not our job. It's not our job. Now they're saying, oh, well, the Congress or what have you will look through it. But, you know, they said that about the Mueller report, and they didn't. They refused to read it. To this day, if you still ask the people in Congress and Senate, did you read, like, the GOP, obviously, did you read the Mueller report? They're like, no, they didn't read it. They didn't look at the Jack Smith evidence. They just pretend that it doesn't exist, and so there's no justice. It's really horrifying. So yeah, we're having to do the job. Now, who could do it with us is MAGA. I know a lot of MAGA has changed. Finally, they've woken up. I guess it finally got to be so bad. I did, you know, I thought it was bad before. It was bad in the beginning, but finally, at least, there was some sort of bar. But there's still a lot of MAGA out there who aren't going to change, and they're not doing the job. So it's all up to us. We're all having to look through this horrible evidence for the sake of the victims and the sake of not being gaslit back into the same mindset, and you know, enabling this horrible abuse. I'm glad other countries are taking action. Because yeah, why should it be up to us? Why are we having to do all this work? The MAGA should be the one. We're the ones who watched the Alex Pretty video and saw the evidence. We're the ones who had to see what happened with Renee Good. They wouldn't. Like that lady at work that said, I don't need to watch videos. I know what happened. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's the thing. MAGA is not looking at evidence, and they're making decisions based on no evidence. We're doing all the work that makes you mad, and it's not even our problem. We already knew all of this. We knew. See, I get upset. And there's something about MAGA too. I had this big revelation. It just seems so simple, but it's a huge revelation. That, you know how at the very beginning, Spirit and universe, what have you, was like, here's evidence, here's something for you. You can decide right here. Here's what you're asking for. It's right here for you. from the very beginning, we knew that 45 should not be president. And it's because of the Access Hollywood tape, where he literally says on tape, I'll just say if I remember correctly the words, I'm paraphrasing, but when he said, grab him by the P, OC, when you're a star, they let you do it. You just move on them like a bitch. Don't even ask. Okay, so that's what he said in that video with a couple other phrases in there, basically admitting to raping women, right? Now, what that video did and why he should have never been president, why he should have never been allowed to be president after that video, is because in that video he said, I don't follow laws or rules and I misuse my power. I lord over other people and I victimize people by misusing my power. And I don't follow laws or rules. Now, hearing that, MAGA should, and we all knew, right? We're like, yeah, we're not going to vote for you. MAGA should have said at that point, oh my God, I can't vote for this person, because they don't respect power. They don't respect the office of presidency, power, and people, women, and laws, because it's against the law to violate people. I mean, just because it's a woman doesn't mean it's okay. So that's where MAGA had a huge chance to say, yeah, we can't vote for that guy. But they were bloodthirsty because they were so mad that we had Obama, beautiful Obama, as president. They were so mad that Obama was president that they were stuck on revenge. We're going to get revenge. Because I feel like MAGA, the far-right Republicans, are so headstrong and so vengeful. Like, cruelty is the point, as we always say. And they'll never admit being wrong, just like 45. Never admit to being wrong. Okay, so let's move on to that. So, 45 posts that video, like AI video, where it depicts the Obamas, Michelle and Barack Obama, former First Family, as monkeys or gorillas or what have you, whatever. It's horrible. And then they justified it by saying, well, it was just a meme, and everybody was, Nancy Pelosi was, and Hillary was, but we all know, right? Raise your hand if you all know that you shouldn't post something like that, because the connotation is extremely racist. Raise your hand if you know already, probably way back in junior high, that you should never do something like that because it's racist or seen as racist and could hurt other people. Doesn't matter what you think, what you think it looks like. What it looks like to other people is very painful. And of course, we all know. We know why he did it. And then they said it was from the Lion King. No, the Lion King. No, it wasn't from the Lion King. It was from his misuse of power again, and abusive ways, where he bullies people. And what was the video? He was saying the video was about that he was the king of the jungle or king of the forest or whatever it was. So there he's making fun of people and lording over people and misusing his power and bullying them because he's better than them and I'm the king and you must follow me. You must obey me. So he clearly didn't have good intentions. So racist or not, and it was racist, he didn't have good intentions, and he should have never. And then they scrambled around and said, well, I didn't post it, my intern. And then he said, well, I posted it, but who cares? Because it wasn't bad. So now he's back to, yeah, I did it, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, it was bad. And people online, people of color, the Black community were really upset. People were crying. And it made me cry because I really hate that every time we get somewhere where we're all starting to feel like we're coming together finally and showing that we all are with each other, we're all one, we're all together as humans. And there should be no racism, there should be no separatism. We're all together, working together. Life's hard enough, and we're all working together. And some asshole like 45 has to come out and post something like this. But he is who he is, so, it's so upsetting. It really is upsetting. And Black History Month, but here's why he really did it. Because Melania's movie is failing, and Michelle Obama's movie is doing great on Netflix, even after they tried to sabotage it because the CEOs who are working with 45 trying to put Melania's movie in a different category than it was like 2 weeks ago. They moved it to the kids category. That way it would look like it wasn't ranking high. It was hidden. So everybody complained, and then Netflix had to put it back. And then the Michelle Obama movie was doing great. Becoming, I believe is the name. And that's really why 45 posted that video, because he's so jealous and so mad that the Melania movie is not doing well. So petty. He's so petty, but yeah, he's racist. Okay, the Olympics. Trying to hurry here, and I do have to go to work. What time is it? Because I'll have to get ready for work. Okay, the Olympics. So, I don't know. I posted something. I don't know if the icy roads, if 45 was able to send agents to Milano, to Italy, to the Olympics. I suppose he sent a few. I don't know, but the backlash to him and Vance and all of them, his regime, and yeah, him trying to send icy roads agents over there. He and the world leaders that didn't let him have they didn't let him snatch Greenland. You know, when you're a star, they let you do it. He's still mad about that. Macron and all of them talking back against him, talking about him, standing up to him, saying no, which narcissists hate no. That's really why he wanted to send the icy agents, is because of the whole Greenland thing where he lost. And so what did he do? So instead of just being, okay, I won't send them and let's have peace. No, he didn't do that. He sent Vance to show his dominance. Well, he's not going to go because he's scared, right? He's scared. And he knows he would be booed in front of the world. So he sent Vance. But he had to have his presence known. The king had to have his presence known. So he sent his whole, just sound like King Henry VIII would do something like this, send the whole entourage. All these, military craft and cars and policemen and all the food and the insult, because we're not going to eat your food. Just such an insult. But it was 45's way to say, F you. America's better. We're better. We have better food, and we have all this military, and we're big, and we're strong, and we're scary, and you can't do this to us. You can't make fun of me. Like a little kid, right? But he sent Vance because he's scared. And so, but also it was to sabotage the traffic and the comings and goings and the progress of the Olympics for the world, for all the athletes and all the leaders and everything. Do you remember back when they had the World Summit in New York and all the leaders were there, and Macron couldn't get to the venue because of like the big huge traffic jam? And remember I said, oh, that was totally on purpose. 45 totally did that and sent all these vehicles to jam the traffic to delay Macron, because 45 wanted to be the one who walked on stage and said, I'm here, nobody else is here, I'm the king of the world, like that. And Macron valiantly got out and just walked through New York, through Manhattan, to the venue. And then like fate struck and 45's escalator stopped. Remember that? That's because of what he did to Macron and the others. He sabotaged them going to the summit. And that's what he did in Milano, and he's probably still going to do it the whole time until he gets caught and they start talking about it, that he's doing it on purpose, because he is doing it on purpose. He's not there physically, but he's making his presence known, his big, obnoxious presence. And yes, Vance got booed. The American athletes did not get booed, but Vance did. And so NBC and others edited that out. Now, come on. I'm not going to watch. I love the Olympics, but I'm not going to watch if they do that crap. It's ridiculous. I'll watch the replay. It's just... show the truth. Show the truth. Everybody in the whole world's saying it, but you don't think Americans know? We're not dumb. We know what's happening. We know that they got booed. We know they're going to, every time you mention 45 or Vance, American politics, they're going to get booed. We know what's happening, and the world knows what's happening. It's just stupid. It's so childish for NBC and others to play this game and act like, and to capitulate. Now, that's something I want to say too. So I was talking about MAGA and how they knew with that Access Hollywood tape that they shouldn't vote for 45 because he misuses power and does not follow laws and rules. And I was thinking about with all this, the Epstein files, and looking through it and reading and seeing the pictures and the whole everything, the evidence is awful. Him, 45 is like the most mentioned person in all of the files so far, although the